Imagine being one of America's closest allies. You have the money, you have the political relationship, and you desperately want the most advanced fighter jet on Earth. But the United States says no. That is exactly what happened with the F-22 Raptor. Despite interest from allies such as Japan, Australia, and Israel, not a single F-22 was ever exported. Unlike the F-15, F-16, and F-35, the Raptor remained exclusively American. So why did the United States refuse to sell one of its greatest military achievements, even to its closest partners? The answer involves secret technology, national security concerns, politics, and economics. When the F-22 entered service in 2005, it was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Designed during the final years of the Cold War, the aircraft combined stealth, supercruise, advanced sensors, and unmatched maneuverability. Stealth allowed it to penetrate heavily defended airspace. Supercruise enabled it to fly at supersonic speeds without using fuel-hungry afterburners. Its powerful sensors could detect and track threats long before those threats even knew the Raptor was there. The result was an aircraft designed to dominate the skies against any opponent. For the United States Air Force, the F-22 wasn't just another fighter. It was the ultimate air superiority weapon, and Washington wanted to keep it that way. The biggest obstacle to exporting the F-22 wasn't technical, it was legal. In 1998, Congress approved legislation that effectively prohibited the export of the aircraft. Known as the Obey Amendment, the measure prevented government funds from being used to approve foreign sales of the F-22. As a result, even America's closest allies were unable to purchase the aircraft. This decision was unusual. The United States has a long history of exporting advanced military equipment to trusted partners. Nations around the world fly American-made F-15S, F-16S, Apache helicopters, and Patriot missile systems. But lawmakers viewed the F-22 differently. They believed the aircraft contained technologies that were simply too sensitive to share. At the heart of the issue was stealth technology. The F-22's shape, radar-absorbing materials, electronic warfare systems, sensors, and mission software represented decades of research and billions of dollars in investment. Military planners worried that exporting the aircraft could increase the risk of those secrets falling into the wrong hands. Even if an allied nation operated the aircraft responsibly, there was always the possibility of espionage, cyber intrusion, intelligence collection, or future political changes that could expose sensitive technology. For many officials, the risk was simply too great. The United States wanted to preserve a capability that no other nation could replicate. And during the early years of the 21st century, maintaining that technological edge became an increasingly important priority. Potential competitors such as Russia and China were investing heavily in advanced fighter programs. The F-22 provided a significant advantage, and American policymakers were reluctant to dilute it. Ironically, protecting the aircraft created another problem: cost. The Air Force originally planned to acquire hundreds of Raptors. Early projections envisioned a fleet of more than 700 aircraft. But after the Cold War ended, defense priorities changed. Procurement numbers steadily declined. Eventually, only 187 operational F-22s were purchased. Without foreign customers, there was no opportunity to increase production volumes or spread costs across a larger fleet. As a result, the cost per aircraft continued to rise. Critics argued that export sales to trusted allies could have reduced overall expenses and helped keep the production line open longer. But by the late 2000s, the aircraft had become increasingly difficult to justify financially. In 2009, the decision was made to end production. When the assembly line finally closed, only 195 F-22s had been built, including test aircraft. The world's most advanced fighter had also become one of its rarest. Meanwhile, another aircraft was beginning to reshape the future of American fighter exports, the F-35 Lightning II. Unlike the F-22, the F-35 was designed from the beginning as an international program. Allied nations helped fund its development and were expected to become future operators. The aircraft offered stealth capabilities, advanced sensors, and multi-role flexibility while remaining available to foreign customers. Countries that once hoped to acquire the F-22 eventually turned to the F-35 instead. Japan purchased the F-35. Australia purchased the F-35. Israel purchased the F-35. The export fighter had arrived, and the opportunity to sell the Raptor had effectively disappeared. Today, the F-22 remains one of the most capable combat aircraft ever built. No ally ever received it, no export version was produced, and every operational Raptor still serves under the American flag. The decision protected some of the United States' most advanced military secrets, but it also limited production, increased costs, and ensured the aircraft would remain exclusive. More than 2 decades after entering service, the F-22 stands as a symbol of a rare reality in the global arms market. Sometimes a weapon is considered too valuable to sell, and that is why the world's greatest air superiority fighter never became a global one. This is Strike Vector. If you enjoyed this breakdown of military aviation history and air power strategy, subscribe and join us for more stories behind the aircraft that shape the skies.